Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a recent arrest of Kansas City Accountability, but more or less, we're going to be taking a major look at what Andre Sloan dug up on this sorry little SOB of a frauditor. Now, I haven't watched Andre's video in full, but I am eager to see how extensive Angel's criminal history truly is. And with many frauditors, he does have a criminal record. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this freaking show on the road, shall we?
I want to stay here so I can talk to you.
So there's a window on the side, and he was like right up to it, taking pictures of like our employees and stuff. So, I mean, I think, yeah.
We'll still trespass him from the property and just kind of advise him that it's not okay to film inside people's properties.
Appreciate it.
Because this is all, is the area that he's filming, is that like publicly accessible, or is that a private area that he's trying to film into?
I mean, both of our doors are locked and we have to buzz people in.
Okay, sounds good.
So everywhere he's filming right now is locked down until we let people in, so it is private.
We'll do that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
It's, like I said, it's that trespass where you can't videotape inside of a private area, okay?
What do you know about the plain view doctrine? Anything you see from public, you can record?
Just like any other frauditor, they either completely misinterpret or twist the actual meaning of everything they encounter to suit their narratives. Or it's actually that they lack comprehension skills. Sometimes I actually think that a lot of them actually have no reading comprehension skills whatsoever. I mean, some of them didn't even graduate the 3rd grade.
I'm on a public sidewalk.
People are saying you're coming up to the window, right?
I'm right here on the public sidewalk, officer. You are
Please get your
officer.
identification, sir.
Can we get a supervisor out here,
So I'm going
please?
to detain you real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, we can get that recorded. Okay, get a supervisor.
So I'm going to detain you real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, we can get that recorded. Yep. Get a supervisor. I charge
So I'm going to detain you real quick. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
can get that. Yep, get a supervisor. I charge $2,000 a minute for an illegal detainment.
Yep. So like I said, we have reasonable suspicion anyway.
Okay.
Are you a frauditor or a soft sit? Because, well, I've seen more soft sits give out fee schedules than I ever have frauditors, because frauditors are a bit more intelligent than softards because they know that they won't get paid using that asinine fee schedule. Now let's jump into Andre Sloan's video and see what kind of asshole this guy is, what he's been up to all his life to make him such a complete douchebag. So let's just go ahead and jump into that, shall we?
Now, I was going to do a video on Bay Area transparency, as he has been the most requested frauditor to expose for the past few weeks. But I have to wait for a court in Napa, California to get back to me, and then I'll be able to do that video on Bay Area transparency. Well, the second most requested video to do is on Kansas City accountability out there in the Midwest, Kansas City, Missouri. Angel Israel messes around a lot. You know, that's an interesting guy there. And so I thought I would look into him for you guys. And oh yes, Kansas City accountability has a criminal record. Plus, he's a deadbeat father from way back.
Shocking.
So let's take a few minutes now and look into the past of the hypocrite and agitator, Kansas City accountability. All right, folks, so as you see, Kansas City accountability's got a handful of traffic tickets, nothing serious at all, though. Just 3 of them with, 5 charges. So we won't linger on there. Let's get right over to his criminal history, where on January 31st, 2024, he's charged with driving while intoxicated, a misdemeanor out of Jackson County, Missouri. Look at that mugshot. That boy is plastered. So, and as you see, he had to complete a SAT-op program, which he did by February 24th, 2025. He was found guilty on March 26, 2025, sentenced to 24 months probation, a $100 fee, and they suspended the imposition of the sentence. Doesn't it say for how long, though? Because I'd like to get a hold of them and let them know about these other crimes that he's got going on. And then so we go ahead to October 29th, 2024. He's charged with trespassing in Jackson County, Missouri. That was at a post office. As he was going through the court history there, he did pretty well. And then on April 28th of this year, he failed to appear for court, so a warrant was issued. 2 weeks later, they picked him up on May 14th, and they arrested him in Adair County. The warrant was recalled, and then they released him on a bond. And his next court date is going to be July 31, 2025. Now, he's still fighting that charge over a year later. And Angels submitted some documents to the court. One of them was a motion to quash the trespass charges, because he thinks he's a lawyer, and he's doing this pro se, actually, and he thinks he knows what he's talking about. So in number 3 here, Angel states that he was a United States Postal Service employee at the time, on October 29, 2024. He says at the time, so I'm wondering if he's no longer an employee, that this got him into trouble, and he got fired. But he states in that he was an employee at the time, which would grant him the authority to be on the property and to go into restricted areas. Well, apparently not, genius, as that exact post office was not your assigned post office. So therefore, you had no right to be on the property or to be in a restricted area.
Oh, that was not a very smart move, you giblet head. I mean, just because you work at one post office doesn't give you carte blanche to walk into some other random post office and assume that they'll welcome you right in the back rooms. I mean, that's just common damn sense right there, my man.
So then he goes on, and in number 5, Angel insists that the supervisor who issued him the trespass didn't have the authority to do so. Well, who does then? Angel? Angel is grasping at straws, because any supervisor can trespass you from a property, even if it's a public property like a post office. So, his grasp of Poster 7 or the rules, which outline the postal rules, regulations, and laws, Angel, he should know if he was really an employee of the post office, I would think. As we moved on in this charge, he has recently filed an amended motion to quash the trespass charges, where he reiterates most of the same things. And in number 5, he claims that the Lee's Summit Police Department was neither deputized nor trained in federal regulations governing U.S. Postal Service property.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Again, the idiot is acting pro se, as you can tell, because he doesn't know the rules and regulations in the law. As Poster 7, under enforcement, clearly states, postmasters or installation heads may, with the approval of the chief postal inspector or designee, enter into agreements with state and local enforcement agencies to ensure the enforcement of the regulations in a manner that will protect U.S. Postal Service property. Well, there it is right there for you, Angel. So, and then in number 6, Angel tries to go on and say that he tries to make it seem like only United States Postal Service security force personnel are the only ones who can enforce the laws on Postal Service property. Well, I can tell you from personal experience that that's not correct. And I can also tell you that it's very clear under 18 U.S.C. 3061, subsection C2, clearly states that the local police can enforce these regulations. I just read it to you. The lack of knowledge in this kid is great. And his intention to pervert the truth is so obvious and so outrageous.
But Andre, that is the case with many frauditors out there. In fact, I was having an email conversation just last night with a subscriber of mine who got reported to the ATF because he went to a gun range in Florida that allowed for fully automatic weapons on that range, and he rented one and had some fun with it. And like I said before, he reported this person to the ATF, and guess what? The ATF did nothing about it because the frauditor didn't know the laws on that kind of thing, which just makes him look even dumber. And yes, this is the same frauditor that reported me for releasing a video at 11 a.m. earlier this week, and he complained about it to my county's building code enforcement office about it. Yeah, that kind of stupid right there.
So now we're going to move on, and on April 8th, 2025, he was charged with interference with official acts in Polk County, Iowa. That charge was dismissed rather quickly by the court. So on May 14th, 2025, Angel was arrested in Kirksville, Adair County, Missouri, for the open warrant out of Jackson County, Missouri, for the trespassing case. Now, the title of his video is he was arrested for recording on the sidewalk silent on it. Then, of course, later in the video, it comes out that he was taken in for the warrant in Jackson County. So why the misleading video title? Because it's all about the clickbait, ladies and gentlemen. So people will watch the video, don't you know? So now we're going to go along, and boy, has he got some civil cases against him. Down on September 25th, 2009, the Kansas Department for Family and Children's Services went after Angel in Wyandotte County, Kansas, and that was going to be for paternity of 2 children, but it was dismissed due to lack of service. Seems he was able to dodge service. And then we go ahead a couple months, and on 11/23/2009, Capital One Bank went after him. And again, that one was dismissed because they couldn't find him to serve him. Interesting. And then on 5 years later, May 16th, 2014, the Kansas Department of Revenue went after Angel in Wyandotte County. It was a state tax lien for the years 2009 2010 for $2,177. The court found for the Department of Revenue, and they actually ended up putting a garnishment on his wages from Johnson Controls Security Solutions. And then we go ahead a year, and on 9/21/2015, the Kansas Department of Family and Child Services again went after Angel in Wyandotte County. Paternity was established. Child support and income withholding and visitation was set up. Angel was found in contempt of court on July 22nd, 2016, again on September 23rd, 2016, and again on November 18th, 2016, all for non-payment of his child support. We go ahead 3 years. On March 12, 2019, Angel was found in contempt of court again. He was sentenced to jail. Did not say how long, though. We go ahead just 5 months. On August 5th, 2019, a bench warrant was put out for him for non-payment of his child support. And on 12/5/2019, that bench warrant was recalled when he came to court. And again, I guess he decided to start paying his support like he was supposed to. And on 10/12/21, the contempt of court charge for August 5th, 2019 was dismissed for compliance. That means he paid his child support for a while. So now we go ahead to April 23rd, 2021. The Kansas Department of Family and Child Services went after Angel again for another paternity case. So, and on November 15th, 2024, that was dismissed due to lack of prosecution. They could not serve the respondent Angel, so he was hiding from his responsibilities again. Ah, what a deadbeat. And then just 2 years ago, on October 3rd, 2023, Cat Property Management sued Angel in Jackson County, Missouri. And that that case ended up being dismissed for want of prosecution. And we got our header there. We got Kansas City Accountability as the channel name. That's going to be Angel Israel messes around a lot. He was born in December 1986, just a young man he is. And he lives in Kansas City, Missouri. We had to cut out his address there so we don't get in any trouble. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 email addresses for him, man. We have to cut, part where his name is in the email address or the server so that we don't give out any email addresses and get in any trouble for that. I did notice that he had 14 different addresses in 21 years. That is a lot. And it explains a lot. I mean, he seems to run around a lot so that, the authorities can't find him to serve him, for like his important things like his child support and things like that. And then again on October 29th, 2024, when he was arrested, he claimed to be a USPS employee at that time. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Everything that I could find on the petty, pain-in-the-ass criminal, deadbeat father, and apartment squatter that has turned into a fake First Amendment freedom fighter. Are you really surprised? No, I didn't think so. He's still committing crimes like all the other frauditards out there do, as they claim to be fighting for our rights. Just another fraud, in my opinion. How about yours?
Oh, yeah, he wants to hold the government accountable for their actions. Yeah, he can't even hold himself accountable for all the women that he's knocked up and runs away from his responsibilities of paying the child support. Oh, yeah, a deadbeat father. That reminds me of whenever I listen to the recording of my great-grandfather. He said in that recording, any son of a bitch can create a child, but it takes a man to raise it. And clearly, yeah, Angel here is not a man. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.
This could be some groundbreaking stuff right here.
You don't want to go to jail.
For what?
You read this.
I don't have to listen to anything. Blah, 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 blah.
Dude, so there's no way I can get in, bro? Come on, I'll put you on my YouTube.
Then shut up, Wesley.
You gotta put signs up, ma'am, if it's...
Are you Glenn Serio?
Who's that?